Well, as we sit down today, it is August 25th, 2025. My name is Doug Vaughn, and we're going to hear Kathy Rogers' life story. Kathy, how are you today?
Just fine.
You look great. You feeling good?
I'm feeling good.
All right. Well, let's start at the beginning. Where were you born?
Actually, I was born in Belleville, Illinois. But I grew up in Oakville, Illinois.
Yeah.
We lived on a dairy farm until I was in 7th grade. And then we moved to Addyville, which has 250 people.
Why the move?
My father gave up dairy farming, and so we moved to Addyville. And,
I bet that was a hard life, being a dairy farmer.
well, yeah, you never got a vacation.
Yeah.
Every morning you had to get up and do the chores, go to school, come home, do the chores.
At what age did he put you to work?
As soon as he could. I had three older brothers. So one was 10 years older than I was, and the other one was 8. And the last one was 3 years older than I was.
So were you close to them growing up, or
Well, yeah.
or were they a little too old for you to hang out with all the time?
Oh, no. I made sure I hung out with
Oh, you did?
I made whether they liked it or not.
Yeah. Well, what were your parents like? Tell me about your dad first.
Well, my dad, he wasn't an orphan, but his mom died when he was 2 years old, and then his dad died when he was 11. We didn't know until later in life that his dad had remarried and he had a half brother. So, but he worked hard. When World War II was out, he couldn't enlist because he had a heart problem. So he went to the state of Washington, and built boats.
Built boats?
Built ships.
Huh. Yeah. Military ships?
Uh-huh.
I bet he was proud of that.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. And what about your mother? What was she like?
Well, she did both work. She worked in the house, and she also helped with farming, or the milking.
Mm-hmm.
So she had double duty.
Were they strict parents with you?
I wouldn't say strict. They basically said, when we got older, you're on your own, and if you get in trouble, you have to get yourself out of trouble.
Did you get in any trouble?
No.
Oh, well then.
Because of that.
Yeah, you knew the ground rules. So were you around your grandparents very often? Your mother's anyway. I guess your grandparents wouldn't have been around.
No, my mother's parents, they lived on a farm not too far away, and we farmed their land too. And they were strict. They were from Germany. And when I was growing up, between my grandparents and my parents, they would, if they didn't want the kids, to know anything, they would talk German.
Oh, really?
They knew we wouldn't be able to understand.
Did you pick any German up along the way?
No, not really.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of German folks in that part of Illinois,
Yes,
out
it
there.
is.
Yeah, I guess they got to the river and stopped, or what is it the deal? Why do you think the Germans settled there?
No, but yeah, there are a lot of Germans down in that area.
They probably talked about it, but you didn't know what they were saying.
No.
So was your childhood difficult? Busy, at least, it sounds like.
It was busy. No, it wasn't difficult. Well, depends. I would put it this way. I would not give it up. I would not go back and rechange anything. I mean, yeah, at the time we'd say, oh, why do we have to do this? Kind of grown. But in hindsight, it made me what I am.
Yeah. Do you remember your earliest childhood memory? What would that have been? How far back do your memory go?
Probably about the age of 5. I do remember that we did not have indoor plumbing, indoor bathroom, up until I was 6 or 7.
Wow, that had to be tough.
Well,
I guess you didn't know anything otherwise.
Didn't know anything better.
So in the middle of the night, you'd have to go outside?
Well, no, they had a little pot that you could go in.
Yeah.
So, but...
Yeah, your parents probably thought nothing of it. It's probably how they were
Oh, no, because
raised and everything.
my grandmom's parents had it was whether you had a two-seater or a one-seater.
You were really doing well if you had a two-seater?
Uh-huh.
You really want two people in there at the same time.
Well, at least that way you didn't have to wait.
I guess, yeah. Emergencies come up all the time. So what was been a typical day for you been like when you were a little kid, 5, 6, 7, 8 years old?
Well, we would get up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, have breakfast, go out, and I didn't milk the cows, but I fed the calves. Everybody had their own job.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then once I started school, then you'd come in, change, get ready for school, walk down the road, wait for the school bus, and go to school, and then come back and change and work on the evening chores.
That's a long day for a little kid, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but didn't give us any time to get into any trouble either.
Yeah. Were you a good student? Did you enjoy school?
Great. See, we didn't have kindergarten, so I had first grade. I really didn't want to go to school, so I faked illness most of the time.
Really? You didn't show up?
No, but then in second grade, I was perfect attendance. So.
And your parents let you stay home?
Well.
There was work to be done. You're probably happy
No.
they stayed home.
They did, because they said I had an upset stomach so they didn't want me to go to school and then have to stay there. They kind of knew what I was doing, but.
So why didn't you like it?
I don't know. I'd rather be at home.
You must have been very close with your parents and your brothers then, huh?
Yeah. My oldest brother, he was drafted into the Vietnam War, and then when he got home, then he went to Louisville, Kentucky, and became a telephone repairman.
Mm.
And the second brother did the same. And the third one, he stuck with farming. He started with pig farming, and so since we didn't have cows.
Had to be some anxious moments in the house when your brother got drafted in the Vietnam War, though, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Well, what was that like? What were those days like?
Well, I do know that when he got to come home, our church was having a get-together, and we were looking at slides. I don't even remember what slides we were looking at. And then somebody said that Ron, my older brother, was at the airport. And so we immediately left and went to the airport, and it was great to see him.
Yeah. What was that reunion like?
Unspeakable, I guess. I don't know. There were really no words. It was just that, okay. And then I find out later, as I got older, that he was a mortar man. He shot off mortars. And there was one where I guess a mortar hit their encampment. And he lost everything. So all I knew was, well, yeah, Ron needs some supplies. Like a new camera, but I didn't really know why. But then I found out why, so it was like...
Close brush with death there.
Yes.
So did you get letters back
Oh, yeah.
weekly or monthly, and just hope that you were getting good news all the time?
Well, I don't know how often we got them, but we got letters, yes.
Yeah. And your mother probably a nervous wreck all the time.
She was anyway.
She was always a nervous wreck. Well, there were a lot of cows out there that needed tending to.
Yeah.
So as you go through grade school now, what other kind of things are you doing? You were an athlete, right?
Yes, that was in high school. As far as grade school, yeah, it was kind of, like when we always had recess, I would rather than playing with the girls, I would play with the boys. I'd play basketball with them. Sometime.
You're a tomboy.
Yes, definitely. And a lot of times I beat them. So.
Yeah, you could hold your own against the boys. What all sports did you play?
In high school, we had volleyball, field hockey, basketball. We didn't have softball because, like now they have fast. In my area, they had slow pitch. They didn't have fast pitch.
Oh, yeah.
In track.
You didn't like slow pitch?
Well, no, I did. But when I went to SIUE, I had to rude awakening.
Yeah. What position did you play?
First base.
Oh, yeah?
I was tall enough to...
Yeah. Good hitter?
Average.
Well, you must have been pretty good to play in college.
Well, you have to understand, back in those days, that was around 1975, Title IX was just coming into... I mean, it's not like what it is now.
Mm-hmm.
But Title IX was just starting up, and so...
Not quite as competitive?
No. Because in college, I played 3 sports. I played field hockey, basketball, and softball. So...
Wow. There's not many people have pulled that off at the college level.
Not anymore. But there were 2 of us, I think, that for 4 years did 3 sports.
Wow. Well, that kept you busy.
Oh, yes.
You have enough time to study or actually take a class along the line?
No, see, we had at SIUE at that time, we didn't get scholarships. We had tuition waivers. And when this is when Illinois still had state scholarships, and they actually gave money.
Mm-hmm.
So I had an Illinois state scholarship, and I only had to pay like $2.50 every quarter.
Could you afford that, I hope?
It was tough.
Yeah. I bet that made your parents happy.
Well, yeah. They didn't have to. I don't know if they could. I don't think they could have afforded it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when you were a kid, what kind of dreams did you have? What did you want to be when you grew up as a kid looking back? Do you remember what kind of hopes and dreams you had for your future?
All kinds. I mean, to me, the world there was no cap on it. I could do anything I wanted.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this, that with my mother and father, they didn't... The only thing they said no to me about sports was when I was in 7th grade, the boys' basketball coach wanted me to play on the boys' team because we didn't have a girls' team.
Yeah.
And my mom and dad said no. So they started a girls' team.
Oh, did they? Why did they not want you to play with the boys? They thought that was inappropriate at the time?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then they said, who started the girls' team? The school or your parents have a hand in that?
No. As far as in grade school, it was the boys' basketball coach.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of talked them. And then when I got to high school, it was our girls' physical education teacher.
Mm.
She got it. And my high school at that time had 2 gyms. We had the girls' gym and the boys' gym. And, of course, we always had to practice in the girls' gym.
Of course.
Which was much smaller, but
yeah, we
survived.
So where did your athletic talent come from? Were your parents athletic?
Mom, no. Dad, he was... If he would have had the time, he would have done okay. Yeah. Actually, I think it was just from running around with my brothers. Because since we lived on a farm, when, like, in the evening when all the chores were done, some of the neighbors would come over because it was within walking distance, and we'd have, like, a softball game, and I was out there with them.
Were your brothers real athletic, too? They have
No.
success? They weren't?
No.
You were the athlete in the family?
Yes. Actually, I was the only one that went to college, 4-year college.
Yeah. Well, they just had other ideas. Well, I guess one went off to Vietnam. That changes things, too, doesn't it?
He had you know, well, he worked at Boeing, and Boeing said, yeah, when you'll have a job when you get back.
Well, that's good.
And and then a couple of weeks later, it's sorry. And that's when he decided to go to Louisville, Kentucky to become a telephone repairman.
So Boeing changed their mind after he got back from the war?
Yeah.
Did they really?
Because they let him go.
Oh, gosh. How'd that go over? Not well, I bet.
No. But for Ron, he climbed poles.
Mm-hmm.
My second brother, who was also with Intel, he did the splicing. So I had one that climbed poles and one that did splicing.
They had the whole service covered there. A lot of those Vietnam vets didn't get a very good treatment when they came back home, did
And
they?
that's basically, yeah.
Did your brother experience that?
Yeah. I mean, not really within the town, but there were places that, yeah, it was like, nah. Why did you go?
Yeah.
Well, I was drafted, so I had to go.
Yeah. Try to do the patriotic thing and risk your life and come back, and people are unhappy with you.
Well, yeah,
It's
because
an odd time, wasn't it?
one of my grandfather served in World War One, and then, as I said, my father had a medical that he could. But it was really interesting because when he went to the state of Washington, my mother went there too, and at that time they were not married, but they got married out in the state of Washington.
So that was probably a big scandal. Oh, my God, they're moving together. People didn't do that back then, did they?
Oh. So
But it worked out.
it worked out.
Yeah.
And then
Did you ever work outside of the farm growing up as a kid?
I was a waitress on the weekends at the local bar/eatery.
Mm-hmm.
I cut grass. I had grass cutting jobs. When I was in high school, I had a paper route that I had to do. So, I kept busy.
Old-fashioned paper route where you rode your bike and tossed the paper up on the front yard, that kind of
No,
thing?
you didn't toss. You had to go up and put it by the front door.
Oh, so more work involved.
Uh-huh.
Did you walk or did you ride
No,
a
I
bike?
had a bike.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah.
Like how many papers would you have to deliver?
50.
Yeah. And this is for what paper? The Belleville paper? Or the
No, the Sentinel from Centralia.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. Was that a good job?
Well, yeah, but at that time it was you delivered after school, or it was in the evening. It wasn't a morning paper. So yeah.
Yeah. And back then, your parents probably didn't worry about a girl out working and riding bikes and
No.
walking up to people's houses and everything.
No.
Today, you'd go, "Oh my God, you can't do that."
You got to be back at a certain time.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah, it was just like. Well, back then it was, like you could still hitchhike and not worry about. But in today's, no.
Oh yeah. Did you ever do that? Did you ever hitchhike? You never
No.
did.
I didn't.
But you saw those people all the time.
I know.
It was kind of the ancient Uber. and girls would do it, and no
Yeah.
one thought much of it.
No. Because you didn't worry about it.
Uh-huh. What do you think happened to our country and society that it changed so drastically in really one generation?
Well, I don't know. It's just they did, values was thrown out, and people were allowed to do, back in the 60s, people were allowed to do whatever they wanted to do, and so, but yeah, I think they just, well, it's kind of like in today's society, well, let the kids do what they, we can't, everybody has to win a trophy and everybody has to win a medal. No, they don't.
Yeah. It wasn't that like that in our day, was it?
Uh-uh.
Do you remember where you were as a kid when John Kennedy got shot? Most people our age know right where they were.
Yeah, it was, we were at home. We watched it on black and white TV. We only had a black and white TV, no air conditioning, We watched it in the living room
Yeah.
as a family. So, yeah.
That was a big moment in the country, I
Oh,
think.
yeah.
At least you had the TV. I mean, if you had the indoor plumbing by that time too, I hope.
Yes.
What would you have preferred to have, the TV or the indoor plumbing?
Indoor plumbing.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, you could do without the
Because
TV if you had to.
Without the bathroom, it was interesting. We only, as a family, took a bath once a week on Saturday. And the cleanest got to go first, and then the dirtiest, and the dirtiest person got to go last.
Really?
That way we didn't have to change the water.
You saved the water for the whole family, bathed in the same water. And this is after working on the farm.
Yes.
I imagine you work up a pretty good musk over a week on the farm.
Well, yeah. But at that time, you didn't think about it.
Yeah. What was your pecking order in the bath? Were you
First.
good for you? Because you were the young girl, and you probably got away with some things being the youngest. And
Well, yes and no. Yeah, I did get away with some things, but not everybody thinks, oh, you were the youngest, you were the only girl, so you got pampered. No, I did not get pampered. I was expected to work just like everybody else.
they probably thought you were pampered because you were first in the tub.
Yeah, probably.
And water was so scarce you couldn't drain it and fill it again?
You could drain it, but, by then you had to heat the water up again. And
Oh, yeah. Hot water heater not big enough for the whole group.
But we didn't have a hot water.
You didn't have that either.
Yeah, I mean, our house had a kitchen, and then we had what we called a summer kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And in the summer kitchen, that's where you did your laundry. And, you took your baths. And so, yeah.
Mm.
And we canned. My mom, we had a large garden, and we canned fruits and vegetables. So,
Yeah. Had your parents grown up without much? Were they rather poor growing up?
well, yeah.
I guess they would have lived through the Depression, probably.
Yes. My mom had it better than my father because after his mother died in childbirth with his brother, his dad remarried, and his stepmother really didn't want to have anything to do with my dad. So he was basically shipped off to aunts and uncles.
I bet that left a mark on him.
Yes, he really never did have anything nice to say about his stepmom.
Yeah. Isn't it hard to believe people would behave that way or
Yeah.
shun a young child?
Mm-hmm. Because, you're talking 2 or 3. It's like
Yeah,
she didn't want to be bothered.
really. And so he probably carried that with him his
Oh,
whole
yeah.
life, a certain sense of rejection or something.
But when we found out he had a half-brother, and the half-brother lived in St. Louis, I don't know exactly where, but we had him, we welcomed into him into the family just like he was an uncle, regular uncle.
Mm-hmm. Was your family able to go on vacations or anything when you were young?
No, my mom and dad didn't go on vacation until I believe I was out of high school. I didn't have air conditioning until I went to college. Didn't get a color TV until after I went to college. So.
Did you feel like you were missing something?
No.
You didn't know it, or other kids didn't have it also, or what?
Well, they did, and you kind of thought, oh, I wish we had. Can we get it? No, but you just went along with it.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, back in those days, there was only one TV. There was not 6 TVs in the house.
Yeah.
And Dad always got to choose, or Mom got to choose what we were watching. So I grew up a lot of Saturday nights with Lawrence Welk. And
Oh, yeah. And it was horrible, too, wasn't it?
no,
You liked Lawrence Welk?
it was kind of,
Oh, well. I was a little bored by Lawrence Welk, the bubbles going on in the background. That was a little much, I thought. There weren't that many shows on either, were there?
no. And at 12 o'clock, they all went away. You
Yeah.
just had snow on the TV.
Right. And we thought that was okay.
Well, yeah. Well, most of the time I was in bed anyway.
Yeah, it was
It
kind of
was
late.
only like on New Year's Eve that we would go to my grandparents' house and we'd celebrate and, and then watch the Three Stooges. And,
Yeah, really quality programming that they had for us. Oh, well, and then let's get you into college now. You get through high school. Good student, you said, in high school.
yeah.
You move on to SIU Edwardsville.
Yes.
And how did that go? Was that a big moment in your life, big turning point?
Well, yeah, I was the only one. I was the first one in my family to go to college because my three brothers didn't. And when I first started at SIU Edwardsville, I didn't go there for sports. I was just going there for a college education. I was going to work to be a teacher. And then once I got there, one of my other classmates, who was a year older than I was, said, "Hey, do you play sports?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, why don't you come out and try out for the field hockey team?" I said, "Okay." So I did, and the rest, as they say, is history.
Were you a good player?
I kind of think I was.
Yeah. You were the star player, weren't you?
No.
Oh.
There were, in my freshman year, I was like a fullback, and then I moved up to halfback, and then like the junior and senior year, I was forward.
And then you scored all the goals.
Not all of them.
Some of them.
Some of them.
And you also played the other sports as well at the same time.
Because after field hockey, then, because I got to know some of the teammates, well, they just went on to the next sport, which was basketball. So I tried out for basketball, and that first year, we had an excellent coach, and it was great. The first practice, she ran us, and some of the basketball players got sick, I made it until the second practice before I got sick. Because she ran us. But it was a great, back in, 76, it was, and see, back then you didn't have Division I, Division II. SIU was basically a Division II, but we played like Carbondale and Eastern and Western.
How did you hold up against those bigger schools? You do all right?
Most of the time we lost, but we held up.
Yeah.
So, but yeah.
Yeah. Is that one of the most fun times of your life there, playing all those sports?
Oh, yeah.
And with an eye on a teaching degree. And did you get that?
Yes, I did. Actually, I had a physical education major and a health education major. So I had two majors.
And did you start applying for jobs at that point when you graduated?
After I wanted to play the last spring of softball. And so I could have gotten out probably a little bit sooner, but I wanted to play, so I took extra classes. And and then I graduated because they were in quarters, so I graduated at the end of the fall quarter, which was the middle of the year. So there really weren't a lot of teaching positions are open, so I substituted and got a nice little wide awakening.
Well, the kids maybe not as cooperative as you had hoped, or what?
Well, it wasn't just in PE that I substituted. I substituted in grade school for the teachers' classes, and things like I substituted in special ed, and special ed teachers have my grandest, they're great. They have to put up with, because just by substituting, it's like, oh, I'm glad I didn't go into special ed.
Oh, yeah.
So
I bet that's probably where you got your real education, though, that substitute teaching.
Yes.
Probably learned more in a few months than you did in 4 years of college.
And then got an opportunity down in Marissa, Illinois. Their PE teacher went out on maternity leave, and they needed a full-time, so that's where I got my first taste of full-time
Oh, as a PE teacher.
as a PE teacher.
Yeah. And what level? What grades?
High school.
Yeah.
My certificate was a 6 through 12. Junior
So did
high.
you enjoy that?
Well, yes,
Yeah.
because I knew where I was, and I got to do what I was trained for.
Had to move away from home for the first time?
No, actually, Marissa was close enough I could drive back and forth
Oh, really?
from my parents' home to Marissa every day.
So you didn't have to buy an apartment or anything?
No,
Worked out well.
it did.
And how long were you there?
Just for the one semester, and then the next year, in the fall of 1980, I applied at Alton Marquette High School in Alton and was hired as a PE teacher and a health teacher.
Still living at home, or did you
No,
have to
I
move? You had to move at that
had
point.
to move. I had to find an apartment.
Yeah. And that was a big life moment too, no doubt. Striking out on your own, kind of.
So, but that's where I met my husband,
Oh. Now, where did you meet him?
at Alton Marquette.
He was a teacher there as well?
He was the football coach.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he was the football coach for many years. John Rogers, and he was there from 64, and then we moved away in 1984 for a couple of years, and then when he came back, he was principal,
Oh, yeah.
and he was principal until 2003.
You remember the first day you met him?
Kind of. I just thought, what is, because I was sports minded, he was sports minded, so, but it just seemed like as that fall went on, got to talk more with him, and finally,
Finally, he asked you out.
in a way, yeah, we were, I guess the original first date would have been, because the teachers had to be chaperones for different classes or for different years in the school. So he was chaperone of, I think we had sophomores, and I was a chaperone. So they were having a swim party, and he just says, hey, you want to go to, swim party together? Okay, I'll pick you up.
It's very, very romantic.
Yeah. But then afterwards, it was like, when he took me home, it was like, I just got out of the car and went and left him probably speechless. I don't know.
You didn't think anything of it.
Oh.
You thought it was like a work engagement. He considered it a date, more or less.
Probably.
Yeah. So he had to get around to calling you the next time, or?
Well, then we had a teacher that was getting married. And so he says, would you want to go together? So then the light kind of...
You're starting to get the idea that he's interested in you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And from there on, the rest was history.
Huh. What kind of things did you do when you were in those dating
Mostly,
years?
as far as in the beginning, during football season, he would go to other schools to check out what they had, scout them.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, I went along. I mean, he went. So, and then then we had friends that we would party with, like on the weekends or whatever. And then in 1982, we got married. And
How did he pop the question?
actually, it was nothing special. I mean, he didn't get down on one knee. And
Did you want him to do that? Were you expecting the big show?
well, we had kind of talked about it. So
Yeah.
let's say it really wasn't a surprise. I mean, that he asked.
Mm-hmm.
But he did. We made arrangement for my parents and him and me to go to Belleville to have dinner And then he asked my dad if it was okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Your dad gave the thumbs up on that.
uh-huh. And then we let his mother know because his dad had died I never got to meet him, but I got to meet his mother, and we let her know around Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
So,
And where'd you get married?
St. Mary's in Alton.
Oh, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Big wedding or small,
Well, at the
family
time,
only,
yeah.
or what?
Well, actually, he was a little bit older than I was, 16 years older than I was. So a lot of our friends, had to invite them to the wedding because they figured he'd never get married.
Really? But he did. You were the one who stole his heart.
He robbed the cradle, yes.
Were there any eyebrows raised over that since he was that much older? Anyone say, what are you doing? He's going to be an old man when you're still going to be in your 50s or 60s? Or
They
you even
didn't
think
tell-
about it?
They didn't say it to us.
Yeah.
If they did, if they thought it, they thought it.
Yeah.
But they didn't say it to us.
When you're young, if someone's 2 years older than you, go, wow, this person's a lot older than me.
Well,
16 years, yeah.
Well, I was 24 when we got married, and he was 39.
Mm-hmm.
And we got married in June, and he turned 40 in July. So
But your personalities matched, and you had a lot in common, and
sports and
yeah, he was the love of your life.
yes.
And how long were you married?
He passed away in 8 years ago, in 2018. So 82 to 2018.
Yeah,
So
almost 40 years.
Yeah.
That's a long time. Mm-hmm. He must have got past his probation period with you and everything. He was,
well, yeah. There was one time when we went out to, I think it was a spaghetti factory in St. Louis that, we went out there to eat and ordered a drink ahead of time. And they asked me, can we see some identification? On the way home, he kind of said, well, I said, it doesn't bother me if it doesn't bother you.
yeah. It's flattering to a woman to be asked her.
Well, I was only 24.
Oh, okay. So you were going to get carded a few more years after that, too.
Yeah. We just said, okay.
Did you go on a honeymoon?
Yes, we got to go to England and Ireland.
Oh, really? That had to be something.
It was. We got married, but like the Monday before our ceremony, my father fell off a pickup truck unloading a bag of soybeans, and he broke a couple of ribs, so he wasn't able to walk me down the aisle. So we had to do a lot of quick substitute.
Yeah.
So my oldest brother walked me down the aisle, and then the next day after our wedding, we went to the hospital, and I got dressed up in my wedding dress, and John got dressed up in his tuxedo, and we went to the hospital.
And did it again.
Well, we just, to show him.
So, hell yeah.
And we had the ceremony taped, but it wasn't by a professional photographer. It was by the Marquette film guy. So
Didn't do such a great job.
no, well, there were parts that he had the camera down and it was still rolling, so you'd see the floor.
Yeah.
So, but it was the first Monsignor Settis, who was the priest at St. Mary's. He was very old-fashioned. You didn't videotape.
Yeah.
So ours was like the first videotape because my dad wasn't going to be there. So we filmed it and then took the film so he could see it.
Oh, that's good. And the guy who was supposed to be in charge of recording this historic event, he couldn't focus on you. He struggled with the camera.
He was, yeah, I mean, he was used to doing footballs games, so he wasn't a professional.
But your dad must have loved it that you got
Yes.
to recreate it kind of in the
Yes.
hospital. He must have really banged himself up pretty bad not to be able to make his daughter's wedding.
He did. Well, he had leukemia at the time too, so he wouldn't have been able to go.
Yeah. Huh. And so where was your first house when you got married?
In Godfrey.
Yeah. Did you have a house or apartment or what?
We started out in an apartment, then we bought a house. I think it was, it was like 82. We bought a house, but of course then interest rates were sky high.
Mm-hmm.
So we bought the house, and then 2 years later, he got the principalship at Marquette opened up, but they said that they would give him the principal's job, but since I was also teaching there, I would have to quit. And he said, and we both said no. So the principal's position opened up in his hometown, Alexis, Illinois. So we went up there for 2 years, and then the principal's job opened up at Marquette again. And by that time, I had to find another job,
Oh. So what did you do? Another job in another school district?
Well, actually, I went to Jerseyville, Holy Ghost. I taught there, and then they combined Holy Ghost and St. Francis, which they are now. And I was at Holy Ghost St. Francis for 9 years. Or no, 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I became a principal because I went back and got my administrative degree. And then in 1994, I went to St. Matthew in Alton as principal.
Yeah.
And I was there until they closed.
Your husband must have been very well respected and thought of to have all these principal jobs offered to him.
Yes.
What kind of guy was he?
Very understanding, very caring. I really don't know. He took pride in the job he did, because when he was the first couple of years at Marquette was playing St. Louis schools, and then he didn't win a single game. So, but then they started playing on the Illinois side and teams closer to their size.
Right.
And so, back in 1982, Marquette went all the way to Illinois State, or to the state of Illinois football playoffs, and got second place.
Yeah. Oh,
They
nice.
lost to McNamara.
Those losses stick with you for a while too, don't they? When you get that far.
Yeah.
So, at what point during your career and your life did you get the MS diagnosis?
Official in 1992. But we kind of think it was back in 82 when we were in England and Ireland, because they had developed a optic nerve infection. And that's usually the first sign. So didn't think anything about it, but then as days went on, our son was born, and he and I would play catch or throw footballs at each other, and then I noticed that I was having more difficulty walking. And so at one point I just, I knew I needed to go see the doctor. So I did, and it was diagnosed with MS.
That had to be heartbreaking, wasn't it?
Yes. It was a tough pill to swallow.
How do you get an optic nerve infection? Is that just something that just happens? Nothing happened to you? It just
No.
was a genetic thing?
Well, I don't know. I had I only have two first cousins. And the girl, first cousin, she developed MS too. And then I have a second cousin that has MS also. So,
Yeah, it's in the gene pool there somewhere, isn't it? So how did you deal with that when you first got that diagnosis?
tough. Because when it was first diagnosed, the neurologist in Alton who diagnosed it told me, he said, because I was teaching at the time, and he said, Aunt, you're not going to work until I tell you you can work. So for like a month, when I was, John was, he had me, that was about the time, it was in the fall, when they were scheduling parent-teacher conferences.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, hey, you want to come and schedule parent-teacher conferences for me? I said, sure. And then, of course, slide in a substitute teaching class,
Mm-hmm.
and then, but yeah, he saved me, as far as I would have to say.
Yeah. So you still got out there and stayed active, and
Yes.
I would think you would want to do that. That even the medical professionals would want you to stay active.
Well, no, because, and then when I had after he first said he said it was either MS or a tumor on my spine. So I had to do an MRI. So they did that, and he said, yeah, excuse me, it was MS. He says, now, here are the disability papers.
Mm-hmm.
He says, or if you want a second opinion. We both said at the same time, second opinion.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
And so I came to Barnes, and Dr. Ann Cross was the doctor that we first, and she's still my doctor.
Really, you like her?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I really do.
So how do they treat it? What kind of treatment have you had to go through?
Well, in the beginning, I did steroids as far as to get my walking back. And after that, I have never taken a disease-modifying drug for MS. I've been part of several studies. I just call it a guinea pig. When they, but...
And this was in '92. You said you got the diagnosis, but you're still going strong.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
What else are you going to do?
Yeah. You haven't let it stop you and
No,
stopped you from living an active life.
no. I'm stubborn.
Yeah.
And my son and daughter-in-law and granddaughter live with me, but I told them that in order to move in, I still get to cut the grass, so I still cut the grass.
Do you really?
Yes.
How do you do it on a tractor? Riding more?
I do a riding mower, I do a push mower, and I do a trimmer. On the push mower, I've got the cane in one hand, and I push with the other.
That's a real effort.
It is, and the neighbors just, I've had people stop by and say, let me do this for you. No, I like to cut grass.
Now, are you in pain, or is it just
No,
the inability to move like you want to?
It's inability to move like I want to.
Yeah.
And now I use a walker, and it's because of balance issue.
Mm-hmm.
So,
You ever look back and say, why me? Why does this kind of thing have to happen to me?
the first 5 years, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, as far as the 5 stages of grief, I basically did the 5 stages with MS because
Mm-hmm.
and then I can't tell you exactly when, but final point, it just got to be, the MS has made me a better person.
Yeah. How so?
It brought me back down to the ground as far as getting out of college. You played sports and you think, oh yeah, everything is, like you're top of the thing,
Immortal.
and it just bring it down to say, hey, you're not immoral. It's time to pull back. So that's what I've done.
Has it stopped you from doing all the things you wanted to do in life?
No, it's I don't travel because it's effort, to get. The last time I went anywhere was about 2 years ago. A friend of mine and I went to Pittsburgh, and we flew, and between the airport and the pushy up to the plane and all that, it was nice. But otherwise, no. I still work full time.
What are you doing now full time?
I work at St. Anthony's Hospital in Alton. I answer the phone. I'm a communication specialist.
Oh, great.
So
Yeah, because it would be easy to sit back and feel sorry for yourself the rest of your life,
it
wouldn't
would.
it?
But if I did that, I can guarantee you I would be in a wheelchair now, or 6 foot under.
Right.
But no, it's. Then I just got to the point of MS is not going to defeat me. I have MS, but. And then I looked at it the other way of there's a lot of things worse, like dementia, Lou Gehrig's disease. What I have is nothing compared to those two.
Right.
And there's other ones, other diseases. It's like,
Yeah, as long as you've got your mind and you can think,
Yeah.
you got
and as I
most
said,
of it.
I've slowed down. I don't know if it's because of the MS or because of age,
Yeah,
So-
probably a combination of both,
Yeah.
probably.
But otherwise, no, it really has not slowed me down.
Have you spoken to others with MS that encourage them or swap
No,
stories or?
I didn't get on the, I don't want to call it bandwagon, but no. I've just kind of, but I have known people since then that have been diagnosed with it, and yeah, I'll talk to them and, say, hey, do what you can. And because one of them was a fellow co-worker, but her MS affected her eyesight. See, mine only affects the legs and the balance. So,
And so the advice you would give to someone who has it now is just keep going best you can,
just keep going.
keep fighting.
Don't give up. Because once you give up, and that's why with John, when he got me in that month that I was not able to teach, he kept me going. And, because if I would have just sat down and did nothing, who knows where I would be. But
Difficult to be a mother with that?
well,
Or was your son mostly grown by the time?
he was 9
Yeah.
or something like that. He didn't really understand it at that time, but he's grown up with it. So and now he helps me out, like out of chairs when I can't get up. But yeah, he helps.
That changed your life completely when you were a mother, when he was born?
Yeah. I mean, you've got somebody else to take care of.
But you were able to do it all the way through, clearly. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Had to be something to be proud about, right?
Well, yeah, I'm proud of what I've done as far as with my life. I wouldn't take anything back.
No regrets at all?
No regrets.
So is there some advice you would give your younger self? If you were 18 years old and you go back and whisper in her ear, what would you say?
Be nicer to people. Don't. Because, like when you're young, you see people in wheelchairs or whatever, or older people, and you kind of make fun of them. I'd say, don't do that, because one day you might be there. Such as me.
Everybody's fighting a battle of some kind.
Yeah.
When you get old enough, everybody's battling something.
Yeah.
Well, looking back, when your son puts this in a recorder and looks at this 20 or 30 years from now, is there a message you would want to give to him about maybe what he's meant to you?
Well, since John's passed away, he has, kept me going. I mean, and I wouldn't trade him for anybody, because as far as a person, he is great. And it's just not with me. He's cognizant of others. Because I think since he has had to grow up with it, unlike some other ones who say, he understands, and he would, I wouldn't trade him for a world.
I bet you two have a special bond between you for all you've been through, right?
Well, I would hope so.
Mm-hmm. And you still live together.
We still live together, and everybody's still alive.
Yeah. How's that going? Who's in charge of the house now if you're living together? Is it still your house and he's got to live by the rules?
Well, sort of. I get to stay in the house as long as I want. We've got arrangement that actually the house is in his name for financial reasons, but otherwise, I take care of the yard. I take care of, like, the bills, the electricity and that. He takes care of getting the food. And so we kind of do half and half.
How much longer do you think he's still going to make you cut the grass?
I get to do it until I can't anymore. When I tell him I can't. Otherwise,
Yeah.
he doesn't let me cut the grass.
You just do it anyway.
I just do it.
Well, looking back, what would you say in your life that you're most proud of?
The way I present myself to others, as far as that, I don't want to say two-faced, but what you see is what you get. I don't put on airs. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, just be honest. But a lot of that was with the background of growing up with my family and my mom and dad and, just everyone. So, yeah.
Yeah. Do you think you're a lot like your parents? Like your mother?
I wouldn't say my mother. I'm more like my dad.
Oh, yeah?
My mother's more like my third brother. Because we always, in a way, we made fun of him that says, he was a wimp.
He was. Well, what would you want for your son as he goes through the rest of his life? Some of it, I assume, you won't be around. He's still got a long way to go. So, what would you want for him?
That he lives his life, the way he lives it now. I mean, because he's a great son. I mean, he has, I want to say scruples, but he has
Morals.
Morals, yeah. And he sticks with them. So, and he doesn't try to cheat people, or he's honest with them. And,
he must have given you some trouble as a kid, did he?
well, yeah.
Yeah.
But not a lot.
Yeah, he wouldn't be human if he didn't cause some trouble.
Well, it's interesting because when he started school, he went to St. Ambrose, which is in Godfrey. He really wasn't doing very well. So when he got to 5th grade, I was principal at St. Matthew, and we told him, straighten up, or we're going to transfer him to my school. So we transferred him to my school. So he had me as a principal from grades 5 through 8, and then he had his father as principal as from 9 through 12.
Gosh, that's tough.
Well, yeah, you gotta ask him.
You didn't ever have to discipline him in school or anything, did you?
Yeah,
Did you really?
because he got one day when they were lining up for lunch, his class, we had the rule that you had to have your shirt tail tucked in. Well, one of his classmates thought it would be funny that, you pull out his shirt tail, and he turned around and clocked him. So I had to give him a detention.
Yeah.
Along with the other kid. And then I told him, I said, I can't sign it because I signed it. I think he had to sign it. And then when it went home, the parent had to sign. I said, I can't sign it twice. So he had to have his father sign it.
Because he punched somebody in school.
But no, he was...
Those are the kind of problems they had in school back then, like my shirt's untucked.
Yeah.
It's a little different story today, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah.
So...
Was there any kind of last message you would want to say? Something I didn't ask you about, maybe? Any other part of your life that we should have touched on that we should have? Or
I don't think so. I wouldn't, as I said, I wouldn't trade my life to go back and redo anything, because the friendships I have found, the experiences I have gotten to live, it was all. So.
How would you want to be remembered by your friends and family?
And it was a good friend, and the way I conducted my life, that it was on the up and up, that it wasn't, shady, or people would say, oh, but no, that I was an honest person, that a good friend, and I did what I was supposed to.
And I'm sure you're proud that you grew up the way you did and
Oh, yeah.
stayed out of trouble and made something of yourself and had a fun college career and
Yeah.
had a son and a husband that you loved and battled an illness as best you could.
As
A lot
I
to be
said,
proud about.
It is. And as I said, the MS kind of brought me back down to earth.
But it's not something that you want to have define you.
No. Trust me. Because even I have now, when I park with our other, they call them mission partners. I park out and I walk in every day, and, people have said, come up, why don't you, because I do have a handicap sticker, why don't you park, in the handicap? I said, because if my fellow mission partners have to park out there, as long as I can walk, I'm going to walk in. And they kind of shake their head, just like my neighbors when I'm cutting my grass. They just shake their head.
Well, when you stop giving up the parking spot and stop cutting the grass, that means you're giving up, right? You just got to keep going as long as you can.
Because once you give up, it's like you can't get it back.
Yeah. Well, is there something else I should ask you, or you think you've got it covered at this point?
I'd say I have it covered.
Okay. Well, it's been interesting talking with you.
Thank you. It's been interesting being here.